Hello, we are here at Rose City Comic Con 2019 at the Dark Horse booth, which is number 701. I'm Kara, I work at Dark Horse, but I am joined here today by David Dastmalchian, who is working on a new comic series with us. Could you say just a few quick words first about your comic series?
Hi, everybody. I'd love to. So the book is called Count Crowley, Reluctant Midnight Monster Hunter. And it's the story of a young woman who wants to be a serious news broadcaster, but for a whole reason of different circumstances finds herself hosting the Friday night creature feature in her small town where she grew up. And it turns out that not only is she going to host the Friday night creature feature, but her predecessor was a true monster hunter. Monsters are real. They live in our society, and they've been infiltrating the media for generations, feeding us fake news. So she's going to have to learn how to not only take care of herself, but how do you kill a vampire?
Read and find out. Would you like to introduce your friends who are here with us today?
I'd be honored to. I'm so excited and honored to be here with a huge inspiration on my life. In my childhood in Kansas City, I would watch our creature feature, which was Cremation Mortem's Friday Nightmare, in which Cremation Mortem, our local horror host, would introduce all of the classic great horror and not so great horror films of yesteryear, which were some of my favorite films with some of my favorite characters. And the woman who was Cremation Mortem has become a dear friend of mine, and that is Roberta Solomon.
And I'm so proud of what you're doing. I feel like we have a horror host passing of the torch, or truncheon, or whatever it is that horror hosts pass.
The goblet of blood.
Yes. And I bequeath it to you, Count Crowley, and your creation.
I humbly accept.
It's a delight to be here, and so cool that you're creating this monstrously delicious little thing of yours.
Well, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for you, so you really did light that fire, and it's really wonderful. It's exciting, and every time I get new pages, I want to show them to Roberta because I'm so proud of this character who is a superhero, and to me, Crematia was a kind of a superhero and somebody that I just was so enthralled by and looked up to so much. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, both of you, for being here with us at this show. It's amazing to have you here with us, Roberta. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I will introduce our additional guest, who is Megan Walker. She's the editor of Count Crowley. Megan, can you tell us a little bit about how this project first came to you?
Yeah, so I first met David, it's been almost a year ago now.
A year, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and we just had a good kickoff meeting about this project. He told me about his connection to it with Cremation Mortem and how he came into the story, and we've just been working on it ever since. And it's an honor to be working with him, and he brings so much passion to this project, and that makes my job super easy. So,
thank you, David, and thank you, Megan. Well, now I'm going to ask some fun questions so we can get to know everybody a little bit. I'm going to start with you, David.
Yes.
Can you tell us, what was the first comic that you ever read?
The first comic I ever read was The Avengers, number 249. It was staring beautifully at me. It was a great lineup. This would have been like 83, 84, I feel like. But it was in a convenience store in Kansas City, and I pleaded. My dad rarely gave in, but that day he did, and he bought it for me. And I just read it over and over and over again, and I started tracing with blank paper the cover, and I got miles of adventure out of that one issue. And then imagine my joy and my parents' dread when I discovered the magic of a comic book shop, which came soon after.
It was all over.
Yep.
And Roberta, you were talking earlier about how you noticed that there was a lot of crossover with fans of your show and people who were very into comics. Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Well, yeah, and it's interesting because I was not a comic book devotee when I was growing up, and it was only several years into the run of the show that I realized that there was this whole community of kids who were into comic books, and it was honestly a surprise to me. I didn't know that they were finding so much connection and where it was coming from, and so I'm kind of a latecomer to the whole horror comic community, and it's delightful.
You can maybe thank David for some of that.
Absolutely, I
one
can.
One of your crossover fans.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that one. Now we have another fun question. Monsters. I think everybody here likes monsters. what are some of your favorite monsters, and who would win in a fight? And I'm going to start with Megan this time.
That's easy. My favorite monster is the creature from the Black Lagoon. Classic universal monster. So that's my favorite.
I'm a werewolf guy. The Wolfman, Lon Chaney Jr. as Lawrence Talbot is a film that is very important to me. But so is Oliver Reed's Curse of the Werewolf. So is, oh my goodness, The Howling had a huge impact on me. And I love werewolves. I'm also... I really do love the creature from the Black Lagoon, and I feel like it would be a hell of a fight. Like, I'd love to see the Wolfman and the creature go toe-to-toe. I think the werewolf in the end would win the battle, though.
Oh, definitely Creature from the Black Lagoon. However, I part company with these guys because I like the Japanese monsters, Ghidra, Gamera, Mothra, and Gojira. And, pairing Gojira with the Creature from the Black Lagoon, no contest.
Squish.
Gojira!
Well, there you have it. And maybe at some point, Count Crowley is going to have to deal with these monsters. I don't know. We'll find out. David, to kind of wrap things up, is there anything else you would like to tell people about Count Crowley and what they can expect?
First of all, it's comic books. It's the visual medium, correct? And as the writer, I've been so gifted with an editor like Megan who helps me to shape the story into something where we can rely less on the words, more on the visuals, and we've created this landscape which I hope will really spark the joy that you get when you're looking at something that feels nostalgic. There's a tone, there's a color, and there's a shape to the way this comic moves and feels that is evocative to me of the fun, bright, and yet really moody colors of the 80s in comic culture. And then the monsters look so incredible. Lucas Kettner, who's the artist that I'm so grateful to Megan for so many different things, but her instinct to talk to Lucas about this and to send him the script for issue 1 was I couldn't have asked for a better artist. I mean, he's doing stuff. So I'm hoping that everyone out there will tune in, turn down the lights, move up close, and open that first page, and you'll be enthralled, entertained. You'll hopefully laugh some, but you will be horrified. I mean, it is captivating art. It's really beautiful.
Well, thank you so much. And we're going to close out by, can we all do an evil laugh?
Sure.
All right, ready? Here we go. All right, that's all. Thank you.